Hi, I'm Erica Wheelis, food and restaurant marketing reporter at Ad Age. And welcome to another edition of the Marketer's Brief podcast, our weekly discussion about marketing news and trends that have the industry buzzing. Many of us are familiar with limited time offerings, or LTOs, from food brands. Think that sandwich that's only around for a few weeks each year, or that seasonal latte. Lately, the sandwich chain Potbelly has been leaning hard into LTOs, rolling out over 10 limited menu items so far this year, with more slated in the coming months. The brand has also invested more into digital channels, including paid social and YouTube pre-roll, rather than linear TV. In this episode, Potbelly Chief Marketing Officer David Daniels will talk about the logic behind the updated media mix, why the brand is updating its loyalty program, and how Potbelly is competing in the value wars. Now, here's my conversation with David. Okay, so David, before joining Potbelly, you were at the food hall company, you've been with Pizza Hut. I wanted to ask about similarities between food halls and coming back into the fast casual space. You left fast casual and came back. Can you just talk a little bit about like what were some similarities in there?
Well, Pizza Hut would probably qualify as QSR and, heavily digitally transacted product, right? So I shifted, actually, the biggest shift was from that into the food hall company. Food hall company, basically, it's a food and entertainment destination. It's really not what you would consider, or the food hall company doesn't produce and basically develop and operate what you would consider as a traditional food hall. Those in New York and Chicago, food hall is a collection of, frankly, fast casual, chef-driven concepts that are aggregated and share some type of shared seating arrangement. Some people would refer to as an elevated food court. But at the food hall company, it was really chef-driven, fast casual. You order at the counter, you pick it up, you go, you'd find a seat. The difference with that concept was that it was surrounded by bars and entertainment, and the location in Plano, Texas had we owned and operated our own craft brewery at the time. So it was just a heavy sensory experience, both from beverage to food to entertainment, and a number of things. So frankly, the transition from that to Potbelly was actually super smooth because the food hall company created experiential brands, and what I believe fast casual is very much an experiential restaurant platform, more so than QSR. So for me, it was a pretty smooth transition.
Okay, you have since been with Potbelly for about 3 years, or a little over 3 years now. Can you give me a current snapshot of Potbelly's marketing mix? Where are you seeing good returns? Where are you, like anywhere you've pulled back on? What's working?
So when I joined the brand had a fairly anemic marketing investment. There really hadn't been a big investment in the brand, and certainly not in paid media. It was a slight amount of investment in paid media. Most of the marketing was in shop and online. So when I joined, it was primarily paid social. So that was the lion's share of the investment. Over the last 3 years, we've broadened that quite a bit. We still are heavily paid social. It's a great way to reach and connect, and it's been an incredibly valuable media channel for us. But last year we expanded video, right? So we expanded into YouTube, pre-roll on streaming services on mobile devices, as well as connected TV. So we've really expanded our media mix, and we're seeing incredible returns, frankly, from our video content. It's actually where we're probably seeing our biggest returns right now. Not only are these kind of higher reach media channels driving great awareness for us, we're a challenger brand. We're not the size and scale of a lot of other major, or I would say other sandwich brands across the country. Don't have the same, unit penetration and the same budgets. And that expansion into these broader reach media channels has been incredibly beneficial to us. It's helped us gain significant growth and awareness, and we're seeing great returns.
Yeah, how did you guys know like this is going to find new customers, or this is already resonating with current folks? What made you confident in saying like digital is our way to go?
Digital has always been a valuable lever for me. So it's mostly experience, just bringing experience from other brands in and seeing the returns, the reach, and ultimately the traffic we're able to drive. The beauty of the restaurant category is it's very different from my days in CPG. It's like when you invest and you launch a campaign, you know almost immediately if it's working or not. We can soft launch a new product and we'll start to see, reasonable take rate. But as soon as we put paid media behind it, we see the mix go up and we see traffic go up. So it's one of the things I love most about the restaurant category as a marketer is that, it's for better or worse, you know when you're making an impact and frankly, when you're not. Look, there's no better way still today to drive awareness than television and broader reach vehicles, right? So I felt like that was a gap in terms of us kind of punching above our weight in terms of scale, as we needed higher reach vehicles. Linear TV is not efficient for a brand like Potbelly. We're in
I was going to ask if we're
32,
into TV, why not linear? Yeah, yeah.
32, 33 states, right? And we're underpenetrated in some of those markets. So there'd be a lot of waste, candidly, paying and buying national media and connected TV, you can buy at the zip code level. And if you look at the shift in viewership from, traditional linear or cable into streaming and connected devices, it's very easy for us to reach or achieve our reach objectives, our frequency objectives, and frankly, we can get much more targeted and much more effectively track our return on investment.
Okay, so we're doing it digital. If we're YouTube is kind of where leads me to this next question.
Mhm.
Can you talk a little bit about social media investment? Are you guys also putting that behind? I know you said paid social was big, but are you also just investing in your own channels of like TikTok, Instagram, any of those kind of things?
Yeah, we do. It continues to be a great vehicle for us. We focus on user-generated style content. Even some of the content we produce ourselves, it's very real. Our sandwiches, they're real sandwiches. They're not decorated. We have team members that go through and order a sandwich, and then we create content, and then we collect content from our customers that's true user generated. We're so lucky. People love this brand. I love this brand. It's one of the reasons why I feel so fortunate to have had the opportunity to come on board and lead marketing. But the equity over, the last 46 years or so that the brand's been in business, honestly, it's unlike many other brands that I've worked on. And I've been very fortunate to work on some iconic, amazing brands. But there's just such a deep-rooted love for this brand. And people, they make this brand their own, right? So our customers want to talk about the unique ingredients. They make their own sandwiches, right? We created an underground menu kind of based on that inspiration of folks wanting to mix up proteins or toppings and create their own elements. So I think capturing that social media, it's one thing for us to do it, but when we see our fans doing it, we grab that content and boost that content. Another one that has become quite iconic for our brand, and they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. We've seen a few other brands recently, will go unnamed, that have posted some similar content, but there's just a common behavior amongst our customers of taking our most popular sandwich, a Rex sandwich, and dipping it into our broccoli cheddar soup and that combination of flavors. And when someone publishes it or does it, or we publish it on our channels, it's frankly, it drives the highest engagement of anything we do on just something as simple as that. Because for some, it's a new hack, it's a different way, it's a new flavor profile. And for others, it's like, why would you do that? And then they try it and they're like, oh, this is amazing. So we've created a bit of a signature combo there with sandwich and soup.
Okay, sticking with the menu, I understand that you guys have also been leaning into limited time offerings pretty heavily this year. Let's start. Why do LTOs? I know that other brands do these as well, but yours, I believe, are at like a higher clip. So why lean into these?
Our customers love flavor. They love to try new things. And we continue to invest in our food. Like we believe one of our core pillars is great food at a good value. And we want to continue to invest in our food. We want to continue to bring new and exciting flavors to our customers. We also have a very diverse menu, right? So we don't just sell amazing hot oven toasted sandwiches. We have cookies, amazing cookies, fresh baked daily. We have hand dipped shakes. I mean, all of our associates have strong forearms because they're digging in hand scooping ice cream and making shakes to order, as well as fresh made salads and hearty soups that are signature to us. So bringing new news and that variety, it's just a great way for us to drive additional excitement around the menu. and new flavors, and frankly, sometimes these LTOs, they just create a following, and you never know, some of them may make it onto the core menu. And in some cases, they make it to our underground menu. So we may launch a sandwich that when we take it away, they're like, oh, I can't believe you took it away. Please bring it back. And if there's a way to bring it back full time without overcomplicating our core menu, we've got a couple of other of avenues to do that.
That makes sense. So, was there customer data that showed you like LTOs are going to resonate? Did that help you pick like different flavors of things? A lot of I've noticed it's like cookies, there are shakes, there are sandwiches, but cookies are the big ones. So, like, talk about the data side of this because I don't think anybody just pulled the flavors out of a hat. Maybe you did. I don't know.
No, look, consumer insights, right? I think, marketers have to listen to their customers, right? And it's a bit of a dichotomy. It's, sometimes customers don't know what they don't know, and they don't know what they want until you present it to them, right? So there's always white space. But if you really understand your customer, you understand what they want from your business, from your product, from your brands, and from in the types of foods. Look, after I arrived, we were still coming kind of, the brand had a really strong footing. It was August of 2021, but less than just over a year removed from from COVID. So or at least from when it took a foothold in the US. And we wanted to give new news to the menu, right? There hadn't been a lot of menu work done during that time frame, candidly, right? A lot of folks were focused on other pressing things, right? So but we had some products that had been introduced in the past that had performed very well, whether it be driving traffic, elevating mix, or just incidents of cookies and shakes. So we said, look, let's bring some of these back and bring some kind of interest and excitement and news. And we were overwhelmed by their performance. We did the red velvet cookie, and then we did a s'mores cookie in 2022. And the s'mores cookie is probably the one we get the most requests. They're like, why can't you put this on the menu all the time? And it's an amazing, delicious cookie. It's got incredible flavor. But we also like to create anticipation for guests that, we brought the s'mores cookie back. We introduced it in 2022. We did it again in last year, and we did it again this year. It's in shops now. So creating that anticipation of some signature items that will come back. We want you to know it's coming back and you can get ready for it. And then others, it's just exploring and introducing new flavors. We had a Ring of Fire sandwich. So we took a ghost pepper hot sauce from Yellowbird with our Potbelly hot peppers, which is also an iconic signature ingredient of ours. And it was hot, and we warned customers that it was hot. Part of the way we marketed that product was, be warned, it's really hot. And it created such engagement online, right? People, it created talk value. It's just a great way to bring new news to your brand. And you've got folks that don't come in all the time, right? They don't, maybe the Potbelly isn't as accessible to them. And sometimes, LTOs just give customers a reason to come back in and try something new.
I love spicy, so that sounds great. Kind of speaking operationally, if you're doing a higher level of like a higher amount of LTOs, were there any like supply or operational bottlenecks that you guys had to address before putting it into place, or has it gone pretty smoothly?
It's gone very smoothly, actually, but it's because of the planning and the preparation that we put up front. And I think this is critically important. When we look at LTOs, maybe not necessarily like core menu changes, but when we look at LTOs, we look at minimizing how many additional ingredients, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we try and maximize the ingredients in our existing pantry, and we work hand in hand with our operations partners. We do ops testing, and all of that is done well in advance before launching the product. So we know that it's not going to impact throughput. We know that from a training standpoint, that it's easy to learn how and consistently build and make the sandwich correctly. So it's really the work on the front end, creates pretty smooth execution on the back end.
Okay, well, we're in the back half of the year. We've got a couple months to go. Is there an LTO that customers should keep an eye out for?
So yes, I'm not ready to share what that LTO is yet, but what I'll say is we have some extremely exciting menu news coming in the fourth quarter. So I think we've got some amazing flavors and sandwich options that are coming that I think our customers should be incredibly excited about. And frankly, I can't wait to get response from what they think.
You all recently relaunched the loyalty program, Potbelly Perks. Why relaunch? What needed updating?
So the previous program had been in existence since 2000 19 or so. And it was what you would call an auto conversion program. So it's just you get points for every dollar that you spend. And at some point threshold, for us, it was 1,000 points that converted into a free entree, which worked very well for the brand. It's easy to administer, it's easy to communicate. And frankly, your customers just the more visits and spend, they earn more free entrees. But what we found was customers love our entire menu. I talked about the cookies, the shakes, these other menu, and we wanted to give them access. We felt like just restricting it to this just an entree as a reward was not really providing the value and the engagement that our customers are really looking for from Potbelly. And it wasn't highlighting all of the things they love about Potbelly, just a few of them. So I think at the end of the day, when you have to get to a certain point value and it's a larger point value, your customer has to wait too long to really get the benefit, right? So that requires a lot of nurturing that customer through other automated journeys or segmented campaigns to kind of keep that customer engaged. So the new program did a couple things. Number one, you can earn rewards quicker, right? So instead of waiting till you earned 1,000 points, you now can earn something after 200 coins. We also shifted the nomenclature to be more on brand, which is another thing we did. We wanted to bring it more in line with the personality of the Potbelly brand and better reflect that in-shop experience. But besides just allowing customers to earn rewards sooner, we gave them basically the entire menu to choose from at different levels. And then we went back and forth on this quite a bit as we looked at the new design, but we implemented a tiered structure. And we thought for Potbelly, a tiered structure worked really well. So if you sign up, you're a rookie. And then after you meet a certain threshold, you move to pro status. So you're a rookie, then pro, and then our top tier is boss level. And that is, those customers are coming in every single week. They're diehard fans. And we wanted to make sure that, those diehard fans, that we were taking care of them. And so you earn rewards even faster, or you earn coins at a higher rate at that tier. And then there's some additional benefits, a little of what you call VIP benefits for folks that reach that status with the brand.
Obviously, with fast food, inflation is moderating, but folks are still feeling a little pinch in their wallets. How is Potbelly thinking about value these days?
Look, I think everyone's thinking about value right now. I think with inflation, there's just a lot of pressure on consumer wallets. And up until this year, we were delivering a lot of additional, I would say, promotional value through our loyalty program. But we identified like some less frequent guests that primarily just visit us in shop weren't really seeing or getting the value from the loyalty program because they weren't signing up, they weren't coming frequently enough. And frankly, we want to give them a break. We know that right now and today, particularly this year, customers, they're having to make choices in terms of how they're spending their dollars. And, for those guests that maybe are impacted a little bit more than others, we wanted to make sure that the brand was still accessible to them. So this summer we launched a value combo. It's the first time we've done a value combo. We already have everyday value on the menu and what we refer to as a pick your pair. And that's different combinations of a soup and a sandwich, a soup and a salad, or a soup and a salad. And those are at when you combine those two, it's a great discount, right? So you get a break when you pick a pair. We felt like there was an opportunity to expand on that. So we launched combo meals, and our skinny, which is our smaller size sandwich, and 3 proteins, a turkey, chicken, and ham, plus a fountain beverage and a bag of chips. So a full meal for $7.99, for $8. So you can get in and out of Potbelly, still get your Potbelly fix, get your Potbelly experience, have that amazing fresh oven toasted bread, and maybe come a few more times. Or, the brand's now more accessible to some than it was before. We still have our toasty sandwich line up, and our customers love our signature sandwiches, and those customers will continue to come in and buy those signature sandwiches. But there's certainly a demographic of customers that appreciate this other access point to the brand.
100%. What do you think is the biggest challenge that Potbelly is currently facing?
I think for us, it's currently right now, there's so much clutter in terms of value and promotional messaging. And we're a challenger brand, right? So breaking through and making sure that we remain in the consideration set. I think the beauty is like I said earlier, we have such a loyal fan base. I mean, it's such a blessing. I mean, we're so fortunate to have so many fans of this brand. I think the challenge right now is just to ensure that we're taking care of our customers, that we're continuing to nurture that relationship, and that we're continuing to deliver value at every turn. And value is not price, right? Price is only one small component of the value equation. And it's the experience in our shops, it's the accessibility of our brand, and frankly, it's our amazing associates who greet every customer with a smile and that friendly banter that happens across the line when you're ordering a Potbelly sandwich and making it your own. So I think that's the biggest challenge right now is more short term. Long term, I think there's nothing but upside as we continue to fuel this brand for growth.
Okay, we're gonna do like a backwards looking and then we'll do a forward looking question. So my backwards looking question, you've been here with Potbelly for about 3 years now. What is the biggest change that you have seen in the brand since joining?
There's been so much transformation in this brand over the past 3 years since I joined. We're investing more heavily in marketing. We have a franchise growth strategy. We are growing, and after many, many years of kind of stagnated growth and no new units, we're bringing Potbelly to customers across the United States, more Potbelly to customers across the United States. We've got a massive pipeline right now of new unit growth. Florida is a huge state for us right now. We've got well over 50 shops that are committed and or under development currently in the state of Florida. So that's probably the biggest change is just, we've put infrastructure in place. The brand is super healthy, both from a brand equity standpoint as well as the company from a financial standpoint. So, we're in growth mode. And I think that's anyone who's been in this industry, growth is fun. It's fun to be on a brand that's growing. And to see Potbelly and many customers to finally see Potbelly growing at a rate and becoming more accessible and available has been not only rewarding, but the feedback from customers has been amazing. Our number one kind of comment online is, when are you coming to X town? Like, we'll post anything, and instead of talking about that post, it's like, when are you coming to my town? And my response all the time is as quickly as we can.
I like seeing those in comment section too, because people are very specific about it. It's not
Right.
just like, please open one in this state. It is like, please open one in this town in
Yeah.
this state. They're very
Yeah,
particular.
exactly right.
Yes.
In my neighborhood, even. Yeah. Right.
All right, my forward question for you, David. Trends. What are trends in your world that you're keeping an eye on as we head into the holidays and as we head into 2025?
Look, I think this is less of a trend and more of just progress, big data. We are heavily focused on our loyalty program. It has been such a growth driver for us. We've seen incredible performance, engagement, and growth with our loyalty base. Our entire digital business represents about 40% of sales today is digital, which is pretty high for our category. And as a marketer, a lot of the leveraging of data and how we've been able to leverage data through systems, SaaS platforms has really been machine learning. Like, there's a lot of buzz around AI, but if you really look at marketing and how it's leveraged, whether it's through media targeting, personalization, it's really most of that's really just machine learning. And I think this evolution to really having AI versus just machine learning to help drive personalization, customization is critically important. And I think the advancements that we've seen, the improvements in technology, frankly, are just going to create a better experience for customers and are going to create a better way for brands to deliver on those customers' wants and needs. And I think that's a big piece. I think, and then, if I could comment on one more, video. It may not feel like a trend, but you kind of see, YouTube and other video platforms kind of go, up and down, and TikTok's on fire, and then is TikTok going to be around? But I think short form video is here to stay. And I think brands have to frankly, get really smart about how we tell stories in short form content and how we can, communicate, nurture, and grow that relationship with our customers through short form content. And that, obviously that personifies itself through multiple social platforms and digital channels. But those are two, I think, that are really important right now. One's an advancement and one's just, an opportunity that we need to continue to leverage, take advantage of, and delight our customers with great content.
Okay, and finally, David, what is your go-to Potbelly order?
I knew you were going to ask this question, and this is the hardest question for me to ask.
This
So,
is my favorite question to ask
er,
any food CMO. I have to. I'm like, what do you get?
yeah, it's like I get the question. It's like, well, have you tried this on the? I'm like, I think I've tried everything on the menu. Like, I don't think there's anything I haven't tried. For years I bounced between a Rec and our Italian. They were for years my favorite two sandwiches. Right now, my go-to is our Avo turkey, original Avo turkey on our white bread, but I add bacon. And then recently we introduced a hot pepper ranch. So I love our hot peppers. You've already indicated you love it hot. I love it hot too. But we created a hot pepper ranch, and it's a buttermilk ranch mixed with our Potbelly hot peppers. And so my go-to right now is Avo turkey with bacon and hot pepper ranch. And then when I'm feeling, like I want to turn it up a little bit, I'll add hot peppers as well.
That was David Daniels, Chief Marketing Officer at Potbelly. I'm Erica Wheelis, Food and Restaurant Marketing Reporter at Ad Age. I'd like to thank our producer, Lauren Ciardio, and invite you to subscribe to the Marketer's Brief wherever you get your podcasts. We promise to keep it brief, or at least short enough for your morning coffee. Thanks for tuning in.
Marketer's Brief listeners get $40 off an adage.com subscription. Sharpen your marketing edge and visit adage.com/brief for your discount.